Our next topic is flow control and loops. So there are different loops that can be used in MATLAB, such as if-else statement, switch and case statement, for loop, while loop, and so on. So first we are going to start with if-else statement. If statement evaluates a logical expression and executes a group of statements when the expression is true. The optional else if and else keywords provide for the execution of alternate groups of statements. An AND keyword which matches the if terminates the last group of statements. The groups of statements are delineated by the four keywords. No braces or brackets are involved. The general syntax is shown here. We are using if with the expression 1, then statements. Then else if with the expression 2, then set of statements. Then else with set of statements, and then AND that particular if statement. Here is the example of if-else statement. Here I am using n equals to input, which is a value of n equals to. This will first ask for a value of n. If n is greater than 2, m equals to identity matrix. Else if n is less than 2, m equals to 1s of n. Else m equals to 0s of n, and end. Note that if n double equals to 5 is used and not if n equals to used. If a and b are scalars, only then if a double equals to b works. But if a and b are matrices, this might not work as expected. Now there are various operators like less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to. So these are the MATLAB operators that we assign through these. Then AND operator is used as AND sign, OR operator as the sign shown in the figure. Next is switch and case statement. Switch statement executes a group of statements based on the value of a variable or expression. The keywords case and otherwise delineated the groups. Only the first matching case is executed. There must always be a AND to match the switch. So the general syntax is shown here. Switch with some variable, then case with case value, then set of statements. Next is case, then case value 2, then set of statements, and at the end otherwise other set of statements, and end the statement. So this is the example for switch and case statement. I am using n equals to input value of n equals to. In this case, the command window will ask for some value of n. Then I am using switch n. Case 1, my first case is m equals to I of n. Case 2 is m equals to 1s of n. Case 3 is m equals to 0s of n. And the switch statement. Next is for loop. For loop repeats a group of statements a fixed predetermined number of times. A matching AND delineates the statements. The general syntax is also shown here. For variable equals to initial value, colon end value, then set of statements, then end the for loop. So this is the example for loop. N equals to input values of n equals to, so for m equals to 1 to n, r of m equals to rank magic of m, then end the for loop. Then r will display the output of the function, or we can say for loop. Next is while loop. While loop repeats a group of statements an indefinite number of times under control of a logical condition. A matching AND delineates the statements. The general syntax is while with some expression, then set of statements, then end that loop. So here is the example for while loop. M equals to 5, while m is greater than 1, then m equals to m minus 1, zeros of m, end. This loop will continue till the value of m doesn't become equal to 1 or less than 1. Next is break and continue. The break command can be used to terminate a loop prematurely. while the comparison in the first line is still true. Break statement will cause termination of the smallest enclosing while or for loop. The function is displayed or given here. You can just try it by yourself in the MATLAB. Next is the continue command is similar to break. However, instead of terminating the loop, the program just skips to the next pass. Just try this function also, and you just differentiate between the continue and the break commands. Next is midpoint break loop. In these constructs, the loop is entered, calculations are processed, and decision is made at some arbitrary point in the loop whether or not to exit. Then additional calculations are processed and the loop repeats. So you just try this program by yourself in the MATLAB. You will come to know about the midpoint break loop. This strategy can be used either with the for loop or a while loop. You can just use this midpoint break loop strategy only with for loop or a while loop. In this case also you can use a break command. So this is all. Thanks.